Americans. Today I'm wearing my studded leather sash. Gives me 8 strength and 8 agility, which, no.
Man, what the fuck happened to Idubbbz?
Let's do that over again.
I have osteoporosis.
Yo, what's up, my little gremlins? You know Idubbbz, that guy that ate pickles and crawled around in the sewer? Yeah, those are good times. I wonder what he's doing now. Yeah, he's been making some real fucking stinkers. The quality of his content has really gone downhill the past couple of years, and he's really fallen from grace. He used to be one of the best content creators on YouTube until he fell off. His most recent video on narcs is honestly a prime example of how his content has really shifted over the past few years, and it is a massive nothing burger, and today we're going to be talking about it.
If you're not familiar with narcs, it's basically this guy Sebastian who works for a radio show who had the idea to shame people who aren't bringing their carts back to the cart corral.
Dinged car doors, spots taken up, grocery prices raised sky high because employees have to go out and spend their time hunting down carts. We are publicly shaming those dicks who don't take back their shopping carts. Yeah.
I've seen a few of narcs videos, and I love the silly little noises he makes when he flags people down.
The first topic I want to cover with the narcs is the insult of lazy bones.
You're very tired right now, and that's causing an error in your judgment, lazy bones. Be a better person and not be so lazy bones. What we do is we narc out people who are being big old lazy bones and not taking their carts back. You're being a lazy bone.
And I do have a handicap, actually.
Is your disability lazy bonesitis?
There's a lot of people who say like, yeah, this ain't so bad.
Cause it isn't that bad.
The narc, he's hitting people with the white people insults. What's so wrong with that? It's like, dude, if someone called you lazy bones, would you not feel fucking awful? Especially if you're being lazy? That shit is like a level 9 white people insult. Those hurt. It's in that weird area of like, you're not being like barbaric, you're not calling someone an asshole and flipping them off. Fuck you, asshole! It's like when you see someone doing that, almost like violent and aggravated, you almost feel bad because it's like, ooh, you don't have control of what's going on here. I think one of the worst insults that I've ever received in my life was a white person insult, and it was just a really well-placed, no shit, Sherlock.
Man, if that's the worst insult Idubbbz has ever received, then I can see why Froggy Fresh got kicked off Creator Clash.
Like, if someone hits you with a no shit Sherlock at the right moment in time, you can't recover from that. Another point that I'd like to address, I think often goes unnoticed by people, and that is 2 people can be assholes simultaneously.
Damn, no shit, Sherlock. I find it ironic that the guy who used to say the N-word and make jokes about cancer is getting offended over the word lazy bones.
2 parties, however you want to put it, you know, you can dislike both people and think that they're both being unreasonable and shitty. The person not taking their car back, yeah, absolutely, unreasonable, lazy, whatever you want to like attribute to them. But to pretend that Agent Sebastian isn't being an asshole and he isn't being an unreasonable piece of shit, like, come on.
So you're harassing people who leave their carts?
Polite ask. It's not a harass. It's a polite ask. We're sweet and loving about it. Like he's being lazy bones in a couple other ways. It's oral hygiene and such. This is the thing with these lazy bones sympathizers and crackheads. Like maybe you were like just off homeless dudes all day.
What the fuck is the context behind this? Like, why is he asking them if they are jerking off homeless people? What?
That's why you're tired. Is that why you're tired? From giving to homeless man for charity, because it's a charity thing. We're sweet and loving about it, very polite.
I also want to say that ignoring someone's wishes for you to leave them alone after they very clearly said 15 times in multiple different ways, leave me alone, get away from my car, get away from me. If you continue to ignore that, you are fucking creepy.
I've seen this video, and just like in every other case with all these other people, she could have just gotten in her car and driven away.
Why are you
shit, get the fuck off! Leave me! Leave me the fuck away from me! Do not get anywhere near me! Stop! Stop it! Leave me the fuck alone!
Like, the door-to-door salesmen take, like, at max, like, 4 no's.
Just like how Anissa takes at least 4 dudes at once.
4 no's from someone before they leave. This guy will take, I don't know, like 15 to 20 no's, and he'll keep going. Yes, it's very easy to call these people unhinged. Another word you can use is disabled. Their brain isn't working like yours or mine.
I think it's kind of a stretch to say all of these people are disabled, I'm not gonna lie.
For some people, they feel like they have to answer the door. And what you gotta understand with the magnet is the magnet isn't just a magnet. The magnet is like a fucking barnacle. They're barnacles that remind the driver that 1, they did a bad thing, and 2, it reminds them of the asshole they just interacted with.
They have these bumper magnets for you. I'm gonna put it right here on the side of your truck. There you go. Let's go with the big old sucker here. Woo! Boy, I love that. It's a nice slap right there. Turn my shopping cart like a jerk magnet. Well, here it goes, going right here, okay? There you go, you got that one. Got it, yes.
I love how this is like the worst thing he'll do to you is just place an easily removable bumper magnet on your car. And Idubbbz is getting pressed over this.
I do genuinely think the cart narc is trying to be ethical and reasonable about how he does what he's doing, but it's kind of hard to be ethical and reasonable when you have tasked yourself with something that is not ethical or reasonable to be doing. So you have to like cherry pick what you're going to be serious about and not serious about. He was talking to some guy on his podcast about the guy he antagonized in the Trader Joe's parking lot.
That's another comment we get here and there is, you don't know what was going on in their life. They must have had a terrible day.
I think that guy had some serious stuff going on.
Yeah,
regardless of your interaction with him, I think I don't know what it was. Either mental issues or
well, it seemed like he was a contractor
drama.
or something. Like he seemed to be gainfully employed. But yeah, maybe not.
I mean, I guess I get it for optics. Like, obviously, you know, you can't really do your cart narc thing if your audience is able to tell that the person you're antagonizing is like unemployed and struggling in life. If it's easy for the audience to tell how much someone's struggling, you're not really gonna get any sympathy points. Everyone's gonna have sympathy for the person you're antagonizing. I think the worst aspect of the cart narc videos is him identifying someone as essentially not being all together and being like a very vulnerable person, whether they're disabled, whether their car is kind of shitty or broken.
I've seen the cart narcs videos, and I've seen several of them, and I feel like he's failing to point out the fact that this guy does this to everyone. He doesn't like discriminate on class or on disabled people. He does this to literally everybody.
Down and basically being like, all right, this person doesn't seem like a threat because their life is kind of in shambles. So that means I can push their buttons harder.
Uh-oh, he's balling it up. Yeah. Want to go back to throwing school, sir? I got some late, he's like,
How long are you gonna play this fucking game, man?
until you take your cart back.
Get the fuck away. Get the fuck away.
I'll put one on the back here, so.
Stop it.
Sir?
Stop it right now.
You stop it, but see what
I really don't understand why people don't just get in their car and drive away. Like, all he's doing is throwing a bumper magnet on there. Just drive away.
The cart narc calls people who don't return their shopping carts lazy bones, and if they get mad and yell at him, he calls them angry bones. I'd like to propose a few more bones. Angry bones is like the cart narc's dream zone. You know, if you can fall on this part of the spectrum, it's perfect. It's like the Goldilocks zone. Next up, you have fist bones, and this is where things start to get like a little bit more dodgy.
I'm being chased. Hey, can you call security? There's a guy chasing me. He's trying to be violent.
Now, gun bones is actually a very interesting one because that's more violence. It's very life-altering violence, but it awards you some privileges. What I mean when I say this is a guy from Texas actually threatened Agent Sebastian with a gun. He said, I'm gonna put about 6 in you.
I'm fixing to kill you, and I'm a killer. I'm fixing to put about 6 right in your forehead.
Unsurprisingly, Agent Sebastian left him alone after that.
No shit, Sherlock. He acts like him backing down upon being threatened with a gun is like unreasonable. Like, what?
I think the energy was very clear that he was willing to shoot him over this. There was another instance where a guy pulled out a gun and cocked it. Obviously, Sebastian didn't continue to antagonize him. He left him alone, And he even blurred out the guy's work truck in the video he posted. And I think he said, like, I don't want this guy's business to be affected by this interaction or some shit like that. And I'm like, bro, you go around talking about, like, shaming people?
This is very ironic coming from the guy who built his entire career off shaming people. Like, he got famous off of doing content cop and Kickstarter crap. Like, he's got no room to talk.
Publicly shaming those dicks.
Here's a perfect time to shame someone. That was clearly an overreaction.
I love how he was bashing him on ethics, and now he's going back on that and bashing him for being ethical. Like, what the fuck? The thing about narcs is he never exposes anyone's identity. I think it's perfectly reasonable to blur out the logo on the truck because, I mean, why should the guy's life be ruined just for forgetting to put a cart away?
Cocking a gun. Perfect time to shame someone, but you don't want their business affected. You don't think someone's life is affected or their mental health is affected when you post a video of them having a freak out in a parking lot for 15 minutes? You don't think their life is affected, but you can have some sympathy for the business owner?
Yeah, because he doesn't want to hurt their business. He's being ethical here.
I think we can all do the mental work it takes to understand why these decisions are made by Sebastian. It's basically like, if this guy's business is heavily affected by my fucking video, then all of a sudden I'm engulfed in controversy and it's now a problem. But for the guy who has to fucking open his PT Cruiser by reaching out of the car and pulling it open like that, no one's gonna fucking care about this guy.
I don't see how this is different because he's not exposing this guy's identity. He's not, like, showing you where he works. He's not telling you their name.
I don't care about his mental health. I don't care about what he's struggling with. So I get free reign to put this guy online. It is really bad. And it's win more. Like, clearly this guy has a fucking business. He's able to drive around with a fucking firearm and essentially get a guy to not fuck with him. Like, that's extremely win more. These aren't the guys.
It's like he's trying to spin this narrative that narcs is just purposefully going out of his way to attack, like, disabled people or impoverished people, when that's not even the case. He does this to both rich people and poor people. Like, he does not discriminate. He just goes up to people who don't put their cart away. It doesn't matter your social class at all.
Guys who we should be worried about and who deserve to be antagonized.
What are all these parking violations for, by the way? That's a lot of them.
Yeah, they're all illegal, too.
They aren't. They aren't. The people who are probably most deserving of being antagonized by the narc are the ones who basically guffaw and just drive off.
It seems as though this peasant has just left his magnet on my car. The poor fool doesn't realize that I have no obligation to address his qualms with me.
Let's put it this way, Sebastian and the Narketeers. If it's really worth it for someone to not take the cart back to the cart corral, their life is not fucking roses. Their life is not pleasant. I know we love to make all of their actions malicious.
You can tell Idubbbz does not put his cart back in the cart corral. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire video. It's just a big giant nothing burger. There was a lot of filler parts that I had to cut out in this. Yeah, it's just a shit video. In the comments on it, dude, everyone in the comments is just roasting this video. So you know what? Let's go on ahead and take a look at some of these comments. Idubbbz is usually the puppet master in this situation and doesn't like when he can't control whether or not he returns his cart. Crazy that Idubbbz has come back to his Content Cop series, but rebranded as Idubbbz Complains. This video leads me to believe the new Idubbbz isn't actually more empathetic, but is experiencing a repeat of past trauma from being so heavily trashed online. Everything he's saying about their mental is about his mental health. Anyways, leave her, dude. I feel like that comment right there honestly perfectly sums everything up. I guess one thing we can learn from all of this is that Idubbbz has definitely changed, but that does not mean he's matured at all. Anyways, that's about it. If you liked the video, then like and subscribe, or don't. It's whatever you want, I guess. See ya.